Good evening, everybody. This is a regularly scheduled meeting of the Wareham School Committee. It is September 18th, 2025. It's approximately 6:30. We are being recorded by Jamie Wixton, and we are televised by WCTV. And John, someone told me his last name.
Day.
John Day is behind the wall making sure it's done properly. Let's rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we are all present and accounted for, and I see no offense to the press, even though you're getting attacked lately. Not you personally. I don't think the press wants to participate in public participation, so we will move on to good news. Does anybody have any good news?
I just wanted to share, and this is something that will be shared again later in the meeting, but I think everyone knows now that we're starting the search for our next superintendent. And one of
Call
the...
that good news.
Well, what, you want me to stop there? No, so I wanted to just let everyone know that we are planning a public forum. We talked about that last time, and we have set a date. So just in case someone is watching now and doesn't make it to the end of the meeting, I just wanted to say that that's going to be on Monday, September 29th at the high school. There'll be a session for staff of the schools from 2:30 to 4:30, and then there'll be another session from 5:30 to 7, is that right? For members of the public. So again, that will be talked about later in the meeting. It will be put out on social media, through email, to let everyone know, but I just wanted to make it known now also.
Thank you. And repeating that is probably a good idea later. Yes. Matt?
I just want to say the new preschool at the high school opened
I heard.
on Monday. Things are going really well. There's a great article in the Wareham Week about it.
Thank you.
So please check that out. We will be holding an open house at some point. School committee will be invited to come. And so I just want to say thank you to everyone that worked so hard to make that happen.
How many rooms is it at the moment?
One.
One. Okay.
Yep. And the McDuffie Education Center has been renovated, and a lot of work has been done. Not renovated, I don't think is appropriate, but and we'll be having students starting there on Monday. So that's good news.
Great. Thank you. Anybody else? Good news. We will not steal any of Priscilla's thunder. Okay, because she's next.
Sports.
Mic on?
I think so. Oh, there we go. Sorry. One of the main things is sports. Volleyball had our first loss yesterday, but our record's still 6-1, and we have a game tomorrow. Boys soccer is also doing well with a record of 3-1, and both soccer teams had a game today. Still don't know the results. The football game has the first home game next Friday, and field hockey has a game today and tomorrow, and overall are doing well. And then DECA, we're hosting our first fundraiser on September 27th, 9-1, and it's Drive for Your Community, and we're partnering with Wareham Ford, and it's where the public and anybody over 18 can come and test drive Fords and just fill out a survey, and it gives DECA money, and it helps us fundraise and get out into the community. There is also open house tonight, and overall I think it's going well the first few weeks of school.
Excellent. Excellent. What's the highlight been for you?
I think just my classes this year are easier because I got all my hard classes out of the way, and now I get to have an easy senior year. I'm still taking more challenging classes, but not as hard as they have been, and just seeing people again. It's really fun.
Sounds like good planning. Okay. Director of Finance.
Good evening. In your packet, you have the August financial report. There's not too much to report, which is good. We're about 12% expended with the budget, but next month, when I report to you on September, you'll likely see a significant change as we have more of our contracts for our special education tuitions, which can, those fluctuate greatly, special education transportation, and we'll have our first payrolls for the school year staff. So there'll be a lot more to report at that point. But right now, I don't really see nothing is of concern currently. So we'll just continue to monitor the budget and make some updates as we get more information, as we can compare the budgeted amounts to the actual amounts once we have the payroll in and, some of those special education tuition contracts, they're all in now. So once I do the September report, we'll have a little bit more to update on.
Questions? All good? Good budget? You're good?
Yeah.
So when I look at I guess this is the first, I guess you'd call this the 7 functions? Yes, 7 functions. Some of them are already significantly used up, and yet the total encumbered, when I looked at, is a relatively small, well, actually, that's, total encumbered is not a relatively small number, but are those categories where you just encumber a tremendous amount? Operations and maintenance, for example, almost half used up.
Right, so we'd have a lot of our maintenance contracts already put in, our utilities, we're
okay.
projecting for the utilities, so that's the bulk of it. And also the other one, tuition to other districts, it looks like we're about 50% expended and encumbered. So as soon as we have contracts for our out-of-district placements, that's when we'll encumber them. So as I mentioned, you'll see a big change because I think we've received most of the contracts as of September for the out-of-district tuition. Instruction is very low because that's mostly, of course, teachers. What you'd see expended in the instruction category would be any supplies that the schools purchased over the summer for the most part, some summer salaries. Pupil services is predominantly transportation and health services, so you'll see a big uptick in that once the school year starts rolling. Operations and maintenance, like I said, it's mostly utilities. Administration, that's where some of the year-round staff is, and also some technology items, some school committee expenditures, and that's a lower part of the budget anyways, so.
So 12% total is what you'd expect?
Probably, yeah, I would think so.
All right. I mean, some of those school committee numbers are even high percentage. As long as we're not doing something you don't think we should be doing.
No, probably what might be looking a little bit higher for the school committee is we have encumbered purchase orders for the legal fees, and we do that based on our experience over the past couple of years. That way, we set aside that money and know that we're going to be using it every month, but we'll estimate the total for the year based on the past, or, sometimes I might look at, are we going to have a lot more negotiations this year? The years that we have negotiations, you might encumber more. So it's just mostly based on past experience.
How about the superintendent search, the costs associated with that? Is that encumbered?
Not yet, no.
Not yet?
No.
Okay. Is that something you're likely to encumber?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
We do have that amount, right? It's the amount on the contract, right? So, is it, okay.
Oh, no, I'm not suggesting we don't know what it's going to cost.
Right.
But we haven't paid it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm
Okay.
saying. Okay. All right. Everybody good with finance? All right, moving right along. Report of the superintendent.
Thank you. You have the superintendent's newsletter. First off, Bill and payroll warrants. If you could approve those, please.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain? 400.
Thank you. And I have 3 gifts that I ask that you approve. $2,445 from Wareham Media to Wareham Public Schools for the annual renewal of Adobe software.
Just to be clear, Wareham Media, is that WCTV?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What, that is their 501c3 name? Is that what we're using it?
I
Jamie?
don't know if that's their 501c3 name, but I know it's a name they go by.
But I can imagine someone out watching, they might not know what Wareham Media is, and since I wasn't sure it was WCTV, I thought I would clarify.
Yes, it is indeed WCTV.
Okay,
Second is $300 from Cranberry Federal Credit Union to our Office of Beyond School Time to support families in need within the community. And third, a $1,000 donation from Julie and Michael Vargo for Unified Sports. So I ask that you accept these generous
so that was
gifts.
that just came in, I guess, because it's not listed.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll take one vote unless someone wants to discuss any of them individually.
Motion to approve with thanks.
Thank you.
Second.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? 400.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Okay. We are on the agenda for the report of the school committee. The first item is normally April's, but unfortunately, April had a unexpected inability to be here, so I have been requested to let everybody know that the Policy Review Committee is meeting in general at 5 o'clock in the evening on Wednesdays. The dates will be October 8th, November 19th, January 21st, February 11th, and March 11th. And with the exception that the very first one will be at 4 o'clock, not 5 o'clock. For those of you who wonder what this is all about, and I'm especially interested in some parents wondering because there are 3 vacancies on this important committee, one representing the elementary school, another representing the high school, and another representing the special education parents. We are required by law to have policies, and we have some policies not even required by law that we just think are a good idea. And this body makes recommendations to the school committee as to what these new policies ought to be, and and I'm blanking, Jamie, every 5 years? 5 years, the policies must be automatically reviewed. So it's an important task, and we value especially parental involvement in this process. In addition to parents, the school committee is represented by April and Roger, the superintendent, our new director of curriculum and in technology, Tracy Cote, our new principal of the middle school, Sarah Russo, as well as 3 teachers, one from each of the schools. We do have one parent already from the Wareham Middle School, so parents, please, we'd love to have you participate. And if you're interested, please email April Rossi at, I assume it's no, it's not. Okay. You don't have a mic, so okay, go ahead. Okay, so it's APRYL, which is April's way of, or her mother and father's way of spelling her name, dot, don't forget the dot, Rossi, R-O-S-S-I, and the rest is the usual Wareham wareham.ma.k12, no, sorry, wareham.k12.ma.us. I think that's all that April wants me to talk about for the moment, at least as it pertains to policy reviews. So just as a reminder, the very first meeting is October 8th at 4 p.m. And if you're an interested parent, please send April an email. Superintendent search.
Yes.
Kevin.
So, as Joyce mentioned, we are opening our search for a new superintendent, and I think we would all agree on the school committee that it's one of the most important jobs we have is to find a quality superintendent. We were fortunate last time. We're going to do our due diligence to be fortunate again. And we're starting our search early in the fall. We'll be one of the first districts in the state looking for a superintendent, so hopefully that will maximize our chances to find a quality candidate. We have set the dates, which I'll have Joyce go over some of them in a minute for the actual meetings, but we've sent out an invitation to be on the superintendent search committee. That's going to be made up of 13 individuals representing teaching staff, administrators, central office, students, community members, town officials. There's going to be, so that went out via school email. It's going to be on Facebook. It's in Wareham Week right now as well. The deadline to apply is October 1st. I would encourage people to apply and to look at the time commitment. It's a substantial time commitment involved, but we're hopeful we'll get people that really care about Wareham Public Schools.
And the process to apply is what?
It's to send a 1 or 2 paragraph explanation of what role you are and why you want to be on this search committee.
To whom?
To me.
To Kevin.
Okay.
And that again, that address, that link is available on everything that's been sent out. We're also sending out a survey to the entire Wareham community. That will go out on September 27th, and it will run through October 7th. And that will give people a chance to weigh in on what they're looking for in a superintendent for the Wareham Public Schools. Joyce mentioned the focus group already, but I'll just reiterate, that's on September 29th. That's a chance to give in-person input. So staff will be on September 29th in the afternoon at 2:30 in the high school library, and community members, including parents and anyone else from the town who would like to show up, that'll be from 5:30 to 7 in the high school library. We are working with Sean Costello, the field rep from the Massachusetts Association of School Committees. He will run those focus groups, and Joyce and I will be in attendance at those focus groups. And then we will make everything public, the survey results, and we'll be as transparent as we can be in this process. And Joyce, maybe you want to share the actual meeting dates for the actual search committee work?
Sure, I can do that. So the first meeting of the search committee will be on Wednesday, October 8th. That will be a meeting where we meet with Sean and we cover just the rules and regulations, the process of the search.
Where and when?
That will be at 5 p.m., I believe, and it will be in the conference room at central office. All of the meetings of the search committee will be in the conference room. There were some, I know you used the high school library last time, but there were some conflicts with that. So instead of being in different places, we're going to keep them all in the conference room. The next meeting will be on October 15th, and that's when we will screen the applications that we will have received by then.
Also 5 o'clock?
Also 5 o'clock. Thursday, October 23rd is when we will select the final candidates.
So no candidates through the first 3 meetings, right?
First, yes,
No
correct.
meeting with candidates,
Okay.
no.
And in terms of people anticipating, what do you anticipate? I know it's hard to predict. 5 to what?
For the number?
5 to what time? And is it 2
Oh, sorry.
hours?
Up to
Yeah.
4 hours.
Up to 4 hours.
So when we put out the announcement for the committee, of course, we're not hoping that it's 4 hours. But we wanted to be upfront and say that it could be, right, depending.
Okay,
And that's another reason why we're starting at 5, so that people aren't out too late.
got it. Okay,
Then the 28th, the 29th, and the 30th have been set up as interview nights. So again, that, I'm sorry, I may have misspoke. So the interviews, the candidates will be selected on the 23rd. They will be interviewed on the 28th, the 29th, and the 30th by the search committee. Then the finalists will be put forward
right.
by the search committee to the school committee.
And that's November 6th.
Yes.
Okay. At a regular school committee meeting.
So November 6th is a meeting of the whole school committee. Correct.
Okay, and how much is this, the 28, 29, and 30, we should also be 5 o'clock at the moment?
At the moment, yes.
At the moment, yes.
And be prepared for, how many would you expect to be interviewing each night?
Initial,
2 to 3?
2 to
Yes,
3,
2
it
to 3.
depends, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and what, are they told it'll be approximately an hour, to allow an hour?
For the interview?
Yes,
That's my understanding.
okay.
Yes.
So it's 2 to 3 hours are the actual nights of the interview,
Yes.
okay.
Kevin, so
Yes.
how are you going to contact the town? Is it by mail or
no, just through Wareham Week is the,
Wareham Week? Okay.
yes. And we'll put it on the Facebook page and the website, the school website as well, but the Wareham Week's the best way we can get it out to the public.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Joyce, you
Um,
all set?
I just wanted to say that October 28th, 29th, and 30th. October 29th could possibly be the second night of town meeting, and we know that, and we'll deal with it at the time as we need to. We
Okay,
all know sometimes town meeting is one night, and sometimes it goes over, so,
at least it's not the April town meeting,
right, right.
okay.
And the only, Jamie, did we talk about an executive session on a separate night from the interview night? We did.
If we had it on a separate night, we would do it the day before on the 5th. Otherwise, we could do it prior to on the 6th.
Okay. So not on this calendar is an executive session of the school committee prior to the interviews of the finalists.
So prior to November 6th?
So possibly prior to the meeting on November 6th, possibly the day before. It would be just an executive session. It would
And-
be not something that's not here on this schedule, but something we would add on.
And the purpose of the agenda for that would be determining the offer?
It
If
would
we,
just be in preparation of the interviews of the finalists. So preparation of contract negotiations,
okay,
non-union personnel.
yeah, because we won't know who the individual is at that point.
We won't.
Okay,
No.
so bottom line is you're requesting of the chair an executive session either the day of or the day before
Yes,
November 6th.
yes.
Okay, got that, Jamie? Okay. All right,
And then the only other piece that isn't on here but is hard to schedule, I mean, there will be, unless Jamie does have it on here, because she usually has everything on here, but when it does come down to finalists, generally there is a visit to another district.
Yeah, and we have to decide as a committee. Mask doesn't necessarily recommend that anymore, but they'll do what we want to do.
I'm surprised. We did it the last time.
We did.
And it wasn't just for the boat ride. So, and they no longer, quote, recommend it.
They just said that they found that it's a little superfluous, that sometimes you don't get as much information as you would hope. But he said, again, it's up to you as the committee. You decide that. We don't decide that.
I would categorize it as you never know what you're going to get on those visits. And sometimes that impromptu stuff, extemporaneous stuff, you glean a detail that you would never get otherwise.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Yeah.
So
Well,
Roger-
We can decide that.
oh, but the bottom line is you two will decide it. But who goes with you, it could be anybody who has the time who's on the selection committee, correct?
I
No,
think it was the
school
whole committee.
Oh, it's the whole committee.
Not the selection committee, it was the school committee.
Guess I've forgotten.
We
Okay.
went. So that's what I was just gonna say, Roger, so he knows what we're talking about.
Okay.
Once the finalists are chosen, in the last superintendent search, there were 2 finalists. One was from Wareham and one was Dr. Dandria. He was from Martha's Vineyard. So we went to Martha's Vineyard and visited his district. So when we say visit to the district, that's what we mean. And then we visited Wareham as, you know.
Maybe we'll ask Priscilla if she wants to come.
So that's what we're talking about with visits. And then also the day, November 6th, that would be the day of the interviews. During that day, the candidates would also come to Wareham and visit our district.
Right. Yeah. Okay. One of the problems, of course, is if it's an out-of-state candidate, it could be quite a problem, quite a process to visit.
Well, we'll cross that bridge if we need to.
Yes, exactly.
Cross that border if we have.
Yeah, yeah.
Hopefully they'll be in Hawaii.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, you good, Joyce? Kevin?
think so.
You good?
Good, all set.
Okay. So the only other thing on this agenda, we have to re-vote on the meeting calendar. We approved the revision to the calendar specifically related to November 6th, 20th, and actually 2 items on the 20th. Technically, we need to vote to make sure that what we agreed to last meeting, we still agree to. So I'll take a motion to approve the superintendent finalists on November 6th at our usual time, and there may or may not be an executive session that night. The budget workshop on November 20th, which will be in the superintendent's conference room at 8:30 until whenever. And then that evening will be the budget presentation to the school committee, plus the annual strategic and improvement plan presentations by the principals and directors. So I will take a motion to approve those really 3 dates.
So moved.
I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 400. Okay. Now, the mass resolutions. For those watching, and maybe even for Roger, because this is his first mass resolution process, one of the things that the annual conference, which has been in hiatus for as long as I can remember, does is it gets from either the board of directors of MASC or from individual school committees, things that they think ought to be on the lobbying agenda for MASC. And in many ways, one of the most important things MASC does is lobby the state legislature and, of course, keep us informed about changes to the laws that the legislature makes. In this particular case, we are not being given any new resolutions. We are being given 6 existing resolutions which will expire at the end of this school year, I guess would be accurate to say. And this is surprising because there are no new resolutions. But these resolutions are required to be reauthorized, or else the MASC is no longer being asked to lobby in favor of them. And let's face it, some of these resolutions are really difficult lobbying efforts, and others will probably be things that the legislature are excited about taking up. So I will do this relatively quickly. Keep in mind, what you're being asked is not whether you, so to speak, whether you love the resolution, but whether you want the resolution to continue to be lobbied for by the Mass Board of Directors and its staff. I will not read all the whereases. I know you'd be disappointed to hear that. But the first one, the rationale for this, and I'll even give you what I'll call an executive summary. There is something called the Special Education Reserve Fund. Think of it as the school district having a stabilization fund, just the way the town has one, except that this is specifically for unexpected expenses associated with educating special education students. The law is somewhat complicated. It has to be approved to be brought into existence, then to put money in and to take money out. It's all a fairly bureaucratic process. And to my knowledge, we've never taken any money out. But this what this does, it says it wants to raise the percentage of net school spending from, that can be put into this fund from 2% to 5%. Now, to put that in perspective, we currently have $100,000 in this fund, which is 0.25% of our net school spending, according to our finance director. So we're not fully taking advantage of it. Of course, it allows you to, you have to have some extra money to put into it, which is always an issue, and you have to anticipate that, and then, of course, it has to be approved to go in there. But given the fact that we have so little, it does seem to me that it makes sense for us to think about this as we get towards the end of the year. Having said all that, whether it's 2% or 5% is not particularly relevant to us. So if we're saying to keep lobbying, we're really doing it on behalf, more on behalf of the general principle rather than for Wareham itself. Did I sufficiently confuse everybody, or does that all make sense?
Makes sense.
Yes?
No.
Okay.
I don't know.
Think of we're not allowed to have a savings account, okay?
Okay.
In fact, we just gave 300,000 back to the town. Is that a correct number?
I think it was 120,000.
Oh, sorry, 120,000. Good. Okay. So we gave 120,000 back to the town at the end of the year because we actually didn't spend it, okay? Which is a tiny percentage of the total budget, but we did. In theory, we could have taken that 120,000 and put it into a savings account, but it's a very special savings account. It's a savings account that can only be spent on special education students when we have extraordinary expenses, okay? Right now, we have, as I said, 0.25% of our budget in. You can theoretically go up to 2%. This lobbying says we can go up to 5%. I don't feel strongly about this one way or the other, frankly. I think 2% is a fairly big number. 5% would be quite a luxury to have, but I don't want to influence anybody. What's everybody's pleasure? Should we continue to have masked lobby to have it raised from 2% to 5%? How about discussion?
I would say, if we were just talking about Wareham, that the town of Wareham supports the Wareham schools in such a way, like you said, we put that 100,000 in there many years ago, and we've never touched it. And I think that the town, and Wareham already has room to put more in. You said only we're at 0.25%.
8 times more.
And, yeah. So if we were speaking strictly for Wareham, I would say that we don't need to support it because the town supports the schools.
My counter argument, but not a strong one, is since we have such a high percentage of our students who are sped, the odds of us having extraordinary expenses are therefore that much higher. So in that sense, this is an ideal savings account for a place like Wareham.
Well, that's true, but then we'd be asking the town not only to fund our budget in the way that we ask them to every year based on actual numbers that we're spending, and also, and give us this more money over here,
It's
just
very
in
true.
case.
And the counter argument to that is they do the same thing already. They have a large stabilization fund, which they have, and I approve totally of what they've done, which they pour money into so that when they have extraordinary expenses on the town-wide level, they have money to spend. So it would be difficult for them to argue against us because they do the same thing.
They do. But then they also, they also, not only with the budget, but with free cash, we're able to,
Yes, absolutely. And we don't get
Use
the
that.
luxury of free cash. Yes.
But I don't see the harm in asking them to continue lobbying to the general principle of this.
generally, no.
And yes, I agree. Roger?
No.
So you say drop the lobbying?
Yes. Drop
Okay,
the law.
okay. So I think I'm hearing 2 yeses, a no, and just because in principle I like the idea of, I'm a fiscal conservative. So the idea of a savings account for the school district is for something that represents almost a third of our students makes a tremendous amount of sense, even though I suspect we're never going to have a chance to do much about putting money in. So I'm going to vote yes. So that means we will continue to ask them to lobby for resolution number
Two.
one.
You skip one.
I skipped one. Oh, thank you. Yes, okay. All right, all right, the rationale for this one, it has to do with having sanctuary laws that specifically apply to transgender students, and specifically as it relates to their, to HIPAA, which is, of course, privacy, discrimination, mental health, and medical care. I don't want to get political. This is specifically oriented towards families, not to the children themselves. So in my mind, these families should have these rights. So my feeling is, unless someone can point out something that I'm missing, that we should be saying yes to this. Any other thoughts?
I voted yes when we first discussed it, so I would
Okay,
vote yes
yes.
again.
Kevin, yes.
Yes.
Roger? Oh, okay. Sorry, Roger. But it looks like it's a yes. All right. Number 3 relates to, so right now, it turns out there's a law that doesn't allow teachers and school committee members to be appointed to the Massachusetts Board of Elementary and Secondary Education. This is denying that board, it seems to me, expertise that might be valuable, but I'll shut up and let other people talk. Thoughts?
I voted yes on this one the first time too, so I would
So,
vote yes.
as did I.
Roger?
I say yes on that.
Okay, that's a yes no matter what I say, so that makes it easy. That was number 3. All right. Number 4, it's entitled Preserving Local Governance of Massachusetts Schools. It specifically relates to the fact that under the law, DESE can take over a school district. And they have done so most recently. Lawrence in 2011, Holyoke in 2015, and Southbridge in 2016. What this wants Mass to do is lobby that they should only be able to take over these school districts for a maximum of 3 years. And I guess the logic is you're either going to fix it in 3 years or you're not. And I'm skeptical about DESE's ability to fix any school district, even if they had 10 years, for a variety of reasons. I think it's an extremely difficult thing to do. But how do people feel about this one?
I think the research shows that when a school is put into receivership like this, it hasn't
much.
really improved it too much. So
Sadly,
I say keep it with the local after 2 years.
I think it's 3.
Oh, 3, okay.
Yeah, 3 years.
That's fine.
So this means they have to give it back to local governance in 3 years. Joyce?
I agree.
I say yes.
Okay, that's a yes, unanimous. Where is that? That was number 4.
Financial literacy.
Okay, number 5. Personal financial literacy education. I'm not even going to say what I think because I'm passionate. Bottom line is they want financial literacy to be part of, I get, does it actually say high school? But bottom line is a school district's curriculum. And I don't know what percentage of school districts have it. I know we do, thankfully. So this wouldn't directly affect us. It would just say to other school districts that don't think it's important, do it by state rule law. So Joyce,
Yes.
Kevin,
Yes.
Yes.
Roger, yes. Okay, we are yes. I think we have one more. And the last one is, well, this doesn't apply to us. It's an establishment of of a fund to support regional school assessments, which I'm somewhat sympathetic to. I'm tempted to ask the superintendent what he thinks, because you are part of a regional school. So would you like to opine on the merit of this?
I think it's a good idea because the enrollment of students by each town, there can be shifts, and you can have a significant
Change in the assessment.
impact on the assessment. And-
Formula
and-
is always based on students, right? Number of
Yes,
students.
yes.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, that makes sense. Any other thoughts? Not particularly relevant to us, but on principle, how should we?
Pretty
Well-
sure I abstained the first time because I didn't know enough about regional assessments, but based on what Dr. Dandria said, I'll say yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes? Yes, yes. Okay. Kevin, I deserve extra points. I didn't read a single whereas, okay? Or even the rationale. Okay, I will report back, or maybe Jamie will report back to April, that she gets to support. Now, the one caveat we do say to our representative, if new information comes out that influences her decision, we trust her to change our vote, but to report back to us, and so we can berate her if she's done a terrible thing. So Jamie, you'll let April know? Okay. Believe it or not, I think that is the agenda for this evening. I have no idea whether I'm setting a record or not, probably not. But I'm happy if I am. Does anybody else have anything else they would like to bring before the committee, including Priscilla? You good? Roger, you good? Yes?
Good.
Oh, good. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
We're adjourned.